You duped my DIYs, and I have to tell you, I am so impressed. So if you want to see my viewers' versions of my DIYs, plus get to know me a little bit better, then you're going to want to stay tuned because I am spilling all the beans. Welcome to Design to the Nines, and if this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Natalie Callahan, and I want to make you feel powerful. I love all of the comments of how you recreated things or you got the courage to do something that you never thought you could do before. That is the whole point of this channel, is to help you discover hidden talents that you never knew you had and maybe even press yourself a little bit. So one of my favorite things is getting pictures of my projects that you've done yourself. It is so much fun. And when you all sent me your photos, I was just totally blown away, so impressed. It was amazing. So I want to get started with a really quick question and answer. I said you could ask me anything. I'm going to do my best to answer as many of them as possible. I got a lot of repeat questions, so I'm going to try to condense some of those, and hopefully I will get everybody covered. And then I'm going to share with you your dupes of my DIYs. I love it. All right, so let's just get started with this Q&A. So I had a lot of you want to know some of my background, just a little bit of basic information about me, as well as like my experience and how I got started on this. So I'm gonna just tell you briefly about me. I was born and raised in Idaho. I lived in Utah for many years, and then we had a brief stint in Arizona. Then we moved to Maine for many years, and now we're down in Florida. So I kind of feel like a gypsy. We've moved all over the place. We've loved every place we've lived. There's some really beautiful parts of the country. And I've had some people ask me if Florida is our final destination, and I'm going to answer yes. We have no plans to move. We really are loving the sunshine here. So along with our move, we have collected some properties, and that's kind of, I guess, our retirement plan. So my husband's name is Greg. We met in Utah. We've been married for going on 14 years, so 13 and a half years. We have 3 children, and I know I get questions about my children. Right now we're being a little bit protective of our kids. Maybe as I get older, we'll share a little bit more. I do have one adult daughter. I wasn't a teen mom. I'll just leave it at that because I'm a lady, never reveals her age, right? They're really good kids. We're very proud of them. Another question that I got is, does my family support me in what I do? They are like really my biggest fans. And for me, the most important thing in life is family. So yeah, they do support what I'm doing, and especially my husband, Greg. So I met my husband in college at BYU in Utah, and my undergraduate degree is in broadcast journalism. And then also I went on to get a master's degree just a few years ago, and my master's degree is from Purdue University, and it's in public relations. So then my next question I know people will ask is, how did I get started in decorating and DIY and home decor? And the answer to that is I've always had a love and fascination for homes and beautifying them. So I practiced real estate and held a license. I'm licensed in 3 states. I got started by selling houses, and then people started to ask me to help them stage their houses. And then builders asked me to help decorate their model homes. And so one thing led to another, and I realized what I really loved about homes was really the interior of them and decorating them. And I just loved it, and I had such a fascination for doing it, and I found that I had a little bit of a knack for it. While I was in college, I did take some interior design classes. I took floral design classes, and actually before becoming a real estate agent, I worked in a floral shop for several years, and so I've been doing florals forever. My sewing skills go back to my mother making me take sewing lessons when I was like 8 years old. I did 4-H, and so I learned how to sew. Anyway, so after the staging, one thing led to another, and I was like, I need to do this full time. So I actually went to work full time for an interior design company in Utah called Osmond Designs. And so that's kind of like how I got started as far as like the design aspect. And now one of the most asked questions I get is how I got my construction skills, where I learned, and like how that all came about. And to be honest with you, yes, I built this fireplace like from scratch, as well as the side shelves, and To be honest with you, to me, that's a small miracle because honestly, I am self-taught when it comes to construction. So that's pretty much one of the whole purposes of this channel, is to let you know that if I can do construction, I feel like anybody can do construction. Mostly, I've just learned by trial and error. My biggest thing that I would tell you is just to measure carefully, slow down, keep calm, be safe, and you can figure it out. I promise you. I have been surprised when I pushed myself, and I started small and I gradually gotten bigger over the years until I built this. I still can't believe it. So I get asked about what I suggest for like basic tools for somebody to get started. I really think that that could be a full dedicated video in and of itself. I've had it planned forever. I just can never get around to it. Briefly, like I would start with a drill, okay, because you can get a lot done with a drill, and a jigsaw is a really good saw to start on because you can do curved cuts, you can do a lot with a jigsaw. And then a miter saw would be like the next step. Of course, an electric sander. I just keep acquiring tools, but I've not bought them all at once, I promise you. I get like maybe 1 or 2 a year at the most. Just get them little by little, and I would start with a drill and a jigsaw because you can get a lot done. But honestly, my favorite tools right now are a nail gun and a miter saw, just because they make your life so easy. Another commonly asked question is, what got me to start my channel? And in answering this one, I think it will kill kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. Back when I was doing design full-time and real estate, I thought with my degree in broadcast journalism that I would try to pursue a career on HGTV. I get people asking me about that a lot. You see it in my intro credits that I was on HGTV, so I did. I auditioned for Design Star many years ago, about a little over a decade ago, and I was selected for season 4. For those of you who haven't seen Design Star, it's a competition show where you compete against other talented designers for your own chance to be on HGTV. And I was so excited about it. I really, really was. And it did not go according to plan. And it's taken me like a decade to even be able to talk about it because it was just so like painful, I guess. I was a go-getter. I really thought that it was like meant to be, I guess. And the big man upstairs had another plan for me. So I got voted out the first episode. I was crushed. And there's a whole story along with that. It's actually not worth going over, but the bottom line was I was actually pregnant with my middle child. I didn't realize it at the time. I was very early pregnant. I got sick. It just didn't turn out well. It was just not the best experience on the planet. And so now this leads to how I ended up on YouTube. So I really felt this desire to be able to help others learn skills that they never thought that they could do, and to really teach others to be able to do it themselves and help people feel powerful, as I always say. I want people to feel powerful to do amazing and hard things. And I kept just kind of having this little nudging voice in the back of my head saying, you need to get on YouTube and teach people how to do this. And then when we moved here to Florida, I just felt like it was the right time to proceed. And I'm so glad I did. This honestly is the best job I could ever ask for. In answer to some of the questions of like how much I put into it and all that, I would say I put a solid 40 hours a week into my channel. I would probably spend 15 to 20 hours a week just editing my videos. The actual doing of the projects plus editing and planning and shopping and just all of it, I would say I put a solid 40 hours a week. Plus, you know, in these past few months, I probably pushed 60, to be honest with you. And so that's why I'm going to take probably a little bit of a breather here over the holidays, because I'm going to spend a little quality time with my family, recharge the batteries to come out for a banging awesome in 2021. So I am excited about that. But I just want to tell you, I love what I do. And honestly, YouTube is awesome because I get to connect with you all on a more personal level. level. I get to interact with you more, and I just love it. And I just want to say thank you so much for making it possible by watching these videos. So a couple of other questions I get asked. I get asked how often I make mistakes. I'm constantly still learning, so I'm making mistakes all the time, but what I've found is the more I do, the better that I become. You know, practice makes perfect, so those mistakes are coming a little bit fewer and far between because you learn from experience. So if you're making mistakes, it's okay. You are learning from those mistakes, and a lot of times you can salvage those projects. Sometimes we just want to give up. We don't want to see it through, and if you see it through, a lot of times you end up just fine. I have somebody who asked me if I plan on writing a book. That is on my to-do list. I have great ambitions for this channel. I would love to see this grow into something really amazing. A book's not off the list. It's definitely a possibility, so we'll see. So I've had a couple of smaller channels ask me advice if you wanted to start a YouTube channel yourself. And so I'm gonna boil it down in a really big nutshell, but what I will tell you is it is a lot of work. It's rewarding, it's worth it. I love what I do, but you have to really be passionate about it, what you are doing YouTube about. So if you're not passionate about it, don't do it. And if you're serious about it and you've got that passion and that drive, then I would become a student of YouTube, figure out what works. Other than that, just get started. Like, the biggest thing is just getting the courage to get in front of a camera and possibly make a fool of yourself. I love to put my oops-a-daisies and my silly moments on. I love to leave some of those flaws in because it just is, it's authentic. And so that's what I'd say, is be true to who you are. I don't want this to be like a 3-hour episode, so maybe I'll do this again in the future. And now I am so excited to share with you your dupes of my DIYs. Honestly, I was just so blown away. You guys are talented. You're really amazing, and I just want you to know that I am just so impressed. So here we go. If you enjoyed this episode, then here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And to all of my DIY Niners, I want to tell you, you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.